Hello future officers, I hope you're doing good. I hope you're doing fine. Another day, another topic that we would be decoding today. And the topic for today is what is nautical mile, what is geographical mile, and what is stature mile. So before we start decoding this topic, let me quote what Jim Rohn said. He said that your life does not get better by chance, it gets better by change. So let's leave all the old things behind and go towards the change, because change is the only thing that's constant. So let's decode this topic, which is nautical mile, geographical mile, and stature mile. So initially, what are these things? These are generally units of measurement. Nautical mile is used widely nowadays at sea and at air. Not nowadays, for a very long time. Geographical mile was initially used, but because of something, the idea of using geographical mile was brought down. Next is the stature mile. It has no relation with sea or air, but it has relation with land, but we don't use it at sea or at air. So we would be decoding what all these things are. These are very mandatory for chart, not these, just nautical mile, for chart, for accurate navigation, chart work, speed calculation, and collision avoidance. And you might be thinking, why nautical mile is for collision avoidance? Obviously, CPA is measured, the closest point of approach is measured in nautical mile. Okay. So the first thing is, what is nautical mile? Nautical mile is nothing, it is just 1 minute of latitude measured along any meridian. 1 minute of latitude measured along any meridian. Okay, is defined as length. Nautical mile is defined as the length of 1 minute of latitude measured along any meridian. If I have to give you a better picture, okay, let this be the 90 degree, let this be the equator's plane, let this be the pole. Okay, this is equator, this is pole, and then we have this longitude running through like this. Okay, now I take one line and I join it over here. I take another line, so this center of the earth, and join it over here. Now this angle between the two line, the angle between the two line is 1 minute. The angle between the two line is 1 minute. So now with this angle, I measure these two distances. This becomes 1 nautical mile. This becomes 1 nautical mile. The angle is at the center between these two lines is 1 minute. Now I measured these, it came out to 1 minute, so I gave the value of this as 1 nautical mile. If I take some one line from here and I measure it, this is 1 minute, so this becomes 1 nautical mile. 1 nautical mile. Likewise, if I take one line, measure it like this, and the angle between this line and this line is 1 minute, this becomes 1 nautical mile. But since our earth is not constant in shape, the shape varies from place to place, this is more bulged in, this is lesser bulged, it has come out, it is bulged at the center of the earth, and the polar is like squeezed. So the distance is the measurement of 1 minute at the center of the earth and at the pole is different. Even if the measurement over here will also be different, it is not constant. So this will cause confusion. Okay, at one point it is at pole it is 1.9 meters, on at the equator it is 1842.7 meters. I might have interchanged, okay, but these were the two values which will cause confusion, and at multiple location things might vary. So for that, what the navigators did, or the scientists of that time did, they bought a standard value for 1 nautical mile, which is 1852 meters, or 1852 kilometers. This is the internationally accepted standard for a nautical mile, and it is fixed globally. Whether you take at sea or in aviation, everywhere it is constant. Now the next term is why nautical mile at sea is used. Why don't we use other things? Because the most important reason is, since the parallel of latitude do not intersect each other, so the distance between the two latitudes is generally same, which is 111 kilometers. So which would make calculation easier. It is not that it is exactly same, but the difference between the two latitude, that is if I consider this as 10-degree latitude and 11-degree latitude, the distance between these two will be 111 kilometers. And if I take another 12-degree latitude, the distance would become 111 kilometer. It might be different, it might be 111.62, this would be 111.32, different. But the overall is generally constant, which would make our calculation easier. Okay, so that's why we use nautical mile. Position measured in latitude and longitude, charts based on degrees and minutes. This is an overview of why nautical mile is used, not some other values, because nautical mile, the reason is latitude distances are constant and they don't vary from place to place. Next is geographical mile. What is geographical mile? Geographical mile, like I said, in nautical mile, we took a piece of the longitude, but in this case what we are doing is considering this as one longitude, okay, and considering this as the other longitude. Let us ignore this 60 degree. Let this be 1 degree. This be 1 minute. The angle over here is 1 minute. So this distance at the equator, this is one part of the equator. So this distance is 1 geographical mile. If I have to keep it very easy for you now, is that let this be the equator, okay? Let this be the equator and this be the pole. I brought down one longitude, I brought down another longitude, okay? So let us consider the angle over here between the two longitude. The angle over here between the two longitude is 1 minute. Is 1 minute, okay? But now they are not unlike latitude. The longitude, as in when we go to the south in the northern hemisphere, not in the southern hemisphere, we go to the south, the distance between the two longitude will increase and it will be maximum at the equator, okay? It will be maximum at the equator. So then what is the distance between the two longitude? At that point, this distance is 1 geographical mile. And it is measured along the equator. It is not measured along anywhere, it is measured along the equator, because it is the maximum, it is the distance between the two longitude will be maximum at the equator, not even at 1 degree south or 1 degree north, maximum at the equator, 0 degree, not 0 degree, okay? So this is 1 geographical mile. It was earlier used, but we don't use it now, okay? 1 minute of latitude along any meridian, okay? This is longitude. Geographical mile is the length of 1 minute of longitude measured along the equator. I hope I could explain you in a better way what geographical mile is. 1 minute of longitude at the equator only, okay? That is the difference between longitude and nautical mile and geographical mile. And why we don't use geographical mile is because the distance we are measuring 1 degree of the longitude, but you see the distance between the longitude does not remain constant, it changes from different location, it changes at different latitude. At 10 degree latitude the distance might be different, but at 20 degree latitude it is different, okay? But likewise, but in case of latitude, even if you take a 20 degree longitude, the distance between the two latitudes will be same, okay? So geographical mile value is 1853 meters, Okay, it is slightly longer than a nautical mile, but we don't use it. The reason is Earth's oblate spheroid shape. Okay, because the Earth is bulged at the center, it is coming out at the center. So that's why one geographical mile is greater than one nautical mile. Now the stature mile, it is just a standard mile used on land which has no relation to latitude and longitude. Value is one stature mile is 1609 meters and 1.609 kilometers. This is used for land measurement, roads, city distances not used by ship or aircraft. Okay, now comparison nautical mile versus kilometers. Okay, as I said, one nautical mile is 1.852 kilometers. Kilometer to nautical mile, 1 kilometer is approximately 0.5 nautical mile. That means if a ship moves at 10 kilometer at 10 nautical mile, it might have moved at 36. It might have moved at 18.52 kilometer per hour. Okay, if the ship has moved at 10 knots, it had moved 18.52 kilometer per hour. So that was it about the what is nautical mile, what is geographical mile, what is stature mile. If you did like the video, do share with your friends. If you did not understand anything, do mention in the comment box. I would love to clarify all of those things and correct me wherever I have done some mistake. I would love to hear from you. But this package, Merchant Navy Decoded, has launched Cadet package, which is generally for cadets who are in college, BSc, and companies are coming for recruitment. This package will help you theoretically, and since this package has a lot of onboard videos which will give you better idea of how things work on board ships. And also this package is for deck cadets who have completed the cadetship, not cadetship, who have completed their pre-C and they are about to go on board ship. And on ship there are two aspects, one is the theoretical, one is the practical. With time you will get the practical touch of it, but theoretical aspect, this is your lifesaver. So go to merchantnavy.com and take trial and find out how good this package is. We are really waiting to hear from you. And at the end, this is our social media handle. Okay, Deck Office Decoded on Insta, YouTube, Telegram. We post quizzes on this page and fun facts which is of quite relevance for us as a navigator. So if you did like the video, do like it, and till then, take care and have a nice day.